Hello and welcome to this edition of the Sharesify podcast. I'm joined this week by James Crux, my good friend and colleague. How are you, James?
Hey Ian, very well. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. We've given, if everybody's wondering where Steve has gone, we've given him the day off. It's just the two of us winging it today. So, James, I mean, what a tricky market this has been. It's just impossible, isn't it, for investors to know almost from one day to the next which way stocks are going to go because you're getting all these conflicting headlines out of the White House. My trader friends call them tape bombs because they send markets sharply up or down. What have markets been doing this week?
Yeah, so the FTSE 100 is up about 1.5% this week, and it was below 10,000, that all important level from
Was
Friday
it?
to yesterday. Yeah, but there's a better mood today, just looking at the screens. The FTSE 250, a bit slower to recover, up 0.7% on the week. Um,
Hmm.
and across the pond, the S&P 500, that's up about 0.7 on the week, but still below the 200-day moving average. The
Oh
futures are
yeah,
indicating, yeah, I know that you follow closely. The futures are indicating yields will be up about 0.9%, but we said that last week, didn't we? And look what happened.
yeah. That was me. Put my foot in it last week. So what have been the highlights anyway for you so far this week, company wise?
Yeah, another busy week in, another busy week. So, Applied Nutrition, they warned of some reduction in Middle East volumes due to this terrible Iran conflict. That's going to be a headwind, but the company still held guidance, which I guess is quite reassuring. So this is the the protein powders and supplements business with
I
Colin
know it.
Rooney as the brand ambassador. Yeah,
Oh right.
yes. Also, we had Kingfisher, didn't we? A big retail name. So shares in
Yes.
Kingfisher gained after their earnings met expectations. They launched a fresh 300 million buyback.
Wow.
Similar sort of story. B&Q and Screwfix did well. France remains very sluggish. And I guess the report wasn't as upbeat as Wix. And then finally, we had the Competition and Markets Authority finally conclude its vet services market investigation.
Oh.
Yeah, so not great for the likes of CVS and Pets at Home, but it does kind of draw a line over something that's been an overhang on those veterinary stocks for quite a while, a couple of
Oh,
years, I
it
think.
has, hasn't it? Yeah, I mean, that's
Yeah.
got to be at least a year, if not maybe getting on for 2 years that they've been looking into this. So, as you say, clarity, at least if companies know what to expect, that's something. And also, we had JPMorgan Claverhouse results, a trust dear to our hearts.
Yeah, after Anthony Lynch came onto the pod last week, Claverhouse, they reported some benchmark beating results and sort of confirmed that 53-year dividend track record that we talked about on the pod. Uh, and tomorrow we've got another special guest, haven't we? And we've got Nicola Takeda Wood of AVI Japan Opportunities Trust coming on the pod. So the Japanese
Yeah,
market was up last year. It's up another 7% or so this year. So I'll be interested to see what that trust's doing. Very much a value approach and a concentrated portfolio, but definitely one to keep an eye on.
yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, for me, highlights this week, we've had a lot of small and mid cap stocks doing well. We had Personal Group, which does insurance and workplace benefits, smashed it in 2025. Really, the CEO, Paula Constance, really upbeat about this year and sticking to 2030 targets. It's just the progress has been really impressive. The shares are up 11% yesterday on that report. They're up another 3% today, and it's always a good sign when you kick on after you've made a big gain, then the stock kicks on again. Today we've got Luceco, which is industrial light and power. That's up 10% because it raised guidance. We've always liked the industrial lighting bit of the business, and what's really interesting is it's another bit of the business now, the energy transition, which is driving this upgrade to FY26 forecasts. So they make EV chargers, and they said as well as a continuing demand for them, they've been outperforming the EV market. They've got this big installed base of over 10,000 chargers, and now they're being used for what's called demand flexibility. So when the grid needs to, it can put power into the grid. They're already generating revenue, but the company reckons there's significant upside potential to profit as more of these get enrolled. Now, I have to say, stock up 10%. We've always liked it. It's still only on 13 times, last year's earnings. Got another one, which is Volex, which is, again, really good quality, small stroke mid cap, but actually not that small anymore. I mean, it's about 850 million market cap. and they're actually looking to move to the main market maybe later this year from AIM. Because, of
Okay.
course, that will have the effect of increasing liquidity in the shares, open up a bigger investor pool for them. Well, anyway, they have been, again, kind of really interesting. It's their it's their cabling for data centers that's really driven revenue. And they reckon just that business alone will double the revenue that it made in 2024. It's going to have doubled it in 2025. Unfortunately, the big talking point this week hasn't been a stock that's gone up, it's one that's gone down a lot, and that's Goodwin. Uh,
Ooh,
it's an industrial engineering company. It's been a real hit with real big, popular stock with retail investors.
sure.
Unfortunately, they lost two contracts they tendered for, and some Middle East customers have asked to delay delivery of products. Now, that doesn't mean that the contracts have been cancelled or delayed, or they're going to have to shut down production. But there is a suggestion the longer this goes on, maybe that happens. And so the company's reviewing its dividend policy because it paid out a big special div end of last year. They've said they're going to go back to 38% payout ratio. That went down really badly. The stock lost 48% on Monday. I mean, it virtually halved.
Yeah.
It did bounce a little bit yesterday, so that's quite interesting. And but from what I'm reading from various social media and so on, a lot of people have just said that's it. The story's over. And interestingly, Games Workshop shares have had quite a decent Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I'm
Oh,
wondering if some of the money isn't finding a home there.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
else have we got
Yeah.
to look forward to then, James? We've
Well,
got AVI you mentioned.
yeah, so AVI next week we've got two more trusts coming on the podcast. So keep an eye out for those. So we've got MyGo, which is another AVI trust. And then we also got Lord Debenture, a very popular UK equity income trust coming on the pod. So lots of excitement in terms of trust next week. And on the results front, tomorrow we've got Mears. So this is another popular retail stock. Shares have been drifting since last spring, but maybe a good result and they could see a bounce. So obviously this is that property management company, deals with lots of
Yeah,
social housing. So
yeah,
yeah, it's
yeah, yeah.
very newsworthy.
And I think also tomorrow we've got Tribal Group. It's one I looked at just at the end of last year because they raised their guidance in December. They said second half trading was better than expected. So revenue and EBITDA would beat market forecasts.
Okay.
They paid a special dividend in January. So I guess we kind of know the results for FY25 are going to be good. As with so many things, it's probably going to be down to the outlook for this year, and whether that meets forecasts or not. Well, I think that's about us, isn't it, James?
I think it is.
So if you've enjoyed this podcast, please remember to like and subscribe on whichever service you use. If you're a company or a fund or a trust and you'd like to join other managers and coming on the podcast, and you can see we're kind of building up a roster now, then just email us at editorial@sharesify.com. We'll do the rest, and we'll see you tomorrow with our AVI podcast again on Friday. Take
See
care.
you next time.